We're back! And now we get to one of my favorite Optimus Prime designs of all time.
I'm going to be sick. I hope not. You don't have a mouth.
If you like this content, you should consider supporting the channel.
That was awesome, Motormaster. Thank you.
And if you don't support us, I will head straight to your home, take my sword, and drive it into your...
Okay. That was great. Let's get some lunch.
I could really go for some sashimi.
R.I.D. Prime, or R.I.D. Prime if you want to be that guy, really encapsulates the whole robots in disguise idea that Transformers started with. His vehicle mode of a fire engine just works so well for the leader of the Autobots, and at the same time, doesn't go off the deep end too much in the world of fantasy. There's some hints that there's more than meets the eye here, like the super mode head just chilling in the midsection of the truck, and the deployable missile launchers taking up space in the ladder section. But at a glance, this just looks like a really cool looking fire engine.
More like a really boring looking fire engine. Shh.
There's so many little details in this mode that I adore. The colors are spot on to the original. I love the sculpted diamond plating, the intricate lattice work from the ladder sections, the little flip-out water cannons in the bucket section. It's just a cool looking alt mode with some nice play features. Speaking of the bucket, this set also comes with a surprise guest, a Titan Master head of the Robots in Disguise version of Cerebros. I'll be very honest, when I received this set in the mail, I had completely forgotten this little guy was included, so it was a nice little surprise to see him there. Cerebros is beautifully colored and fits nicely, not only in the ladder bucket, but also in the side control seat at the base of the ladder. This is such a nice touch, adding some nice play value to the set, especially when you get to that base mode later. Now, if you've ever transformed the original R.I.D. Prime, then there are very few surprises here. You can easily convert this figure without looking at the instructions. But that's not a bad thing. It's a fun transformation. The way the legs flip around and the arms fold out never really gets old for me. The little quality of life improvements they've added here are pretty subtle, but ultimately just improve on what came before. Like how the base robot head folds out of the backpack now. I've often found the original method doesn't lock in well, and can cause the chest to slide up and down when posing. This new method prevents that better.
See? You're not perfect. F*** off, repaint.
The base mode is just a thing of beauty. The thing I was most worried about was the redesigned chest panel. Pictures made it look weirdly proportioned, but in person, I personally love the anime-inspired look. The way the chest windows are attached on spring-loaded hinges takes the muscular look and cranks it up to 11. As you move the arms, the chest windows move smoothly with them, giving a mecha-live feel that just looks fantastic. I already love the dynamic nature of R.I.D. Prime's design, and this takes it to the next level.
You know, as your friend, I have to say, he's right.
What do you mean?
You really have let yourself go a bit. That's not what he said!
His robot mode is articulated as you could want. I do find some of the joints to be overly stiff in a lot of places, which can be a bit frustrating, but that just might be my own muscle memory of the original resisting learning this new figure. I have to remind myself that this isn't the figure I've been handling and animating for over 20 years. It's a new incarnation of that look. And what a look. I hate to gush, but when you take a step back, the base robot mode is just fantastic. Every detail I loved on the original, the head sculpt, the chest sculpt, the way the cab becomes the shins and flips inside out to show the robot detailings, it's all accentuated tenfold, turning a great toy into a beautiful display piece. That's also a nice toy. He even comes with his signature dinky little pistol, that personally I feel is a great accessory that encapsulates the theme of this as a Prime built to rescue and save lives, rather than being all about the firepower. In this mode, anyway. The vehicle mode trailer, when not in use, converts into that age-old standby of a base mode. Now, I've never liked this base mode. It's a parts-forming, leftover mess, to be honest. The original flopped and folded on its own, and I just kind of tolerated it. But I will say the HASLAB version, while still being a parts-forming, leftover mess, holds together really well. And the added bonus of Cerebros sitting in the control seat actually brings this mode together a little bit better in my opinion, giving this thing a slightly bigger purpose as a Titan Master playset. And I like that.
You know, my base mode doesn't require parts forming.
Yep.
But does your base mode do this?
We all know what comes next, though. When the fire gets out of control, Prime can combine with his trailer to optimize his look and his power in super mode. This conversion, like the transformation to robot mode, doesn't do much different from the original, but the improvements that they made really matter here. Improvements like adding ankle tilts to the super mode feet, a reinforced clipping system to the chest panel, but most importantly, a support piece to the torso section. This all works out to make an incredibly solid and much more posable super mode for R.I.D. Prime. I love this design. I always have, and I always will. In my opinion, Galaxy Convoy is the only super mode to even come close to this in cool factor. But to me, R.I.D. Prime super mode is absolute fire. The attention to detail on this new HASLAB version is insane. Under close scrutiny, you can appreciate all the molded details throughout the toy, from the bandolier on the chest that opens up to reveal his Energon matrix, the massive articulated hands, the ladder on his back, and my favorite detail, the head sculpt. The super mode head is just so cool, evoking the look of a firefighter's helmet and blending it into the classic Optimus Prime head sculpt, creating such a unique and cool looking head. Because of the reinforced and improved mechanics, this version of R.I.D. Prime can actually pose pretty well for such a huge figure. I really can't praise it enough. The design team clearly loved this look and poured their heart and soul into this new iteration. So I think this is where we can address the major issue that some people have with this set. The way HASLAB R.I.D. Prime is designed, there is a slider inside the chest of the figure. And out of the box, one of the pieces is just a few millimeters too thick. For some like me, the figure survived shipping, and I was able to take him apart, shave down the piece till it slid smoothly, and everything was fine. For others, they were not so lucky, and the added pressure caused their Prime's abdomens to crack. Now, I've dealt with defective figures before. It sucks, but you typically can bring them back to the store and get your money back, or exchange them. That's not as easily done with a high-end, limited-run, very expensive figure like a HASLAB. It's a black mark on this figure that even for the people like me that were lucky enough to receive their sets undamaged, can't ignore. I still had to do the fix, or the figure would be unusable. And as a consumer, I shouldn't have to do that. It taints the overall experience, which is kind of why I waited a little while to do this video. I needed time to put some distance between me and that feeling, so I could appreciate and review the toy for what it was, rather than have this overshadowing annoyance lead me to dismissing and regretting this purchase. Because this is a great toy. It looks absolutely incredible. For some, and this is completely justified, that catastrophic manufacturing flaw is going to ruin the figure for them. But I ultimately had to review the figure I received and experienced. And despite the annoyance of having to spend half an hour taking it apart and shaving the plastic down, I am now left with an absolutely gorgeous and fun new version of my favorite Optimus Prime design of all time.
Did you hear that? I'm his favorite. Oh, buddy, no.
What?
You're not his favorite. He is. Huh?
So in the end, it's an amazing update to a great design. It would be disingenuous to those that received a broken figure for me not to address that issue. Previous HASLABs in the past have all had flaws or mistakes, but I don't think any actually caused the figure to be completely broken like this one. I was fortunate, and I want to recognize that. And I hope Hasbro remedies the situation for those who were not as fortunate. Because this is a great figure that deserves to be displayed proudly by fans.
Okay, so the shiny new very expensive version of you and your leggy brother look nice. That's what this stupid video was all about? I mean, he reviews toys that make him happy. What did you expect? Waste of my f***ing Wednesday.
Fear not, brave viewers, for Skylinks is here to remind you to hit the subscribe button. And remember, if Skylinks thinks it's a good idea, then you really can't go wrong.